Every year, thousands of men try to enter this world. Most of them die trying. A few of them disappear. And the ones who make it to the top wish they never started. Here is something nobody tells you about the Italian Mafia. It is not what the movies showed you. There are no dramatic speeches in dimly lit rooms. No slow-motion gunfights in the rain. The real Mafia is quieter, colder, more patient than anything you have ever encountered in your life. It has survived 2 world wars, the most aggressive law enforcement operation in American history, and decades of internal betrayals that would have destroyed any normal organization 10 times over. And it is still here, right now, today, operating in cities you live in, on streets you walk down, in businesses you give your money to. The Italian Mafia, La Cosa Nostra, our thing, is the most studied, most feared, and most misunderstood criminal organization in the Western world. Today, you are going to live every single rank inside it. From the very bottom, where you are worth less than nothing, all the way to the top, where a whisper from your mouth moves entire cities. But I need to warn you about something before we begin. The higher we go in this video, the more you are going to understand why the men who reach the top never smile in photographs. Every rank has a price. And some of those prices you will spend the rest of your life paying. Rank 1, the Associate Level 1. The Associate, let us be completely honest about what you are at this level. You are not in the Mafia. You are not a member. You are not protected. You are not respected. You are a civilian who does errands for dangerous men and prays every night that they find you useful enough to keep around. You run numbers. You move packages from one address to another without asking what is inside. You stand outside a social club for 12 hours collecting envelopes from men who barely remember your name. You are the lowest form of life in this entire ecosystem. And here is the part that should terrify you. You are taking all of the risk for almost none of the reward. When the FBI shows up, and they always show up eventually, you are the one they put in handcuffs on the sidewalk, while the real members walk out the back door and drive away. You have no protection, no lawyer on retainer, no family backing you up. You are completely exposed. And yet, men lined up for this position. Why? Because of what they could see from where they were standing. The cars, the respect, the way a whole room went quiet when certain men walked in. And the one thing that kept every associate going through the cold nights and the dangerous errands and the $0, the possibility of the next level. But first, ask yourself this, and I want you to actually think about it and leave your answer in the comments. If you were an associate right now, knowing everything you just heard, what is the one thing you would do differently from every other associate who failed to move up? Rank 2, the Soldier Level 2. The soldier, the soldado. You made it. You crossed the line that most associates never cross. A ceremony was held. A small room. Serious men. A loaded gun and a burning picture of a saint placed in your hands. Your trigger finger was pricked. Your blood dripped onto the flame. And as the picture burned in your palm, you swore an oath to La Cosa Nostra that supersedes every other loyalty you have ever held. Your country, your religion, your family. All of it comes second now. You are a made man, and that changes everything. A civilian cannot touch you. An associate cannot touch you. Even a member from another family cannot end your life without going through a formal approval process with the Commission, the governing board of organized crime in America. You are inside the circle. Finally, inside. You have a crew of associates working beneath you now. They kick money up to you. You kick money up to your capo. The chain never stops moving. But here is what nobody tells you about being a soldier that you are about to learn very quickly. The protection you just earned comes with a leash attached to it. When your capo calls, you answer. When he points at someone and tells you to handle it, you handle it. No questions. No negotiations. No asking why. Refusal is not an option. It has never been an option, and it never will be. You are a made man, but you are still a tool. A very well protected, very respected tool, but a tool. The men above you decide how you are used. And when, and against who. Rank 3, the Enforcer Level 3. The Enforcer. Not every soldier moves here. This rank finds you. You do not find it. It finds you because somewhere along the way in some situation that nobody planned for, you demonstrated something that cannot be taught, cannot be faked, and cannot be learned from a book. You demonstrated that violence does not affect you the way it affects other men. Not the doing of it, not the witnessing of it, not the aftermath of it. You process it differently, and in this organization, that makes you extraordinarily valuable. You are the terror mechanism, the invisible hand that keeps the entire financial operation running. When a business owner stops paying his protection money, they send you not to negotiate, to demonstrate consequences. When a debtor decides he is going to simply disappear and start a new life somewhere else, they send you to remind him that there is nowhere on this earth far enough away from La Cosa Nostra. Some enforcers are specialists in pain. They know exactly how much pressure to apply to make a man give up everything he was ever going to hold back. Some enforcers are specialists in something much more permanent. They know which construction sites have foundations being poured on Tuesday morning. They know which chemical plants have vats that dissolve things completely. They know how to make a problem disappear so thoroughly that it is as if the problem never existed at all. You are feared by everyone, including the men in your own crew. They need you. They are grateful for what you do, but nobody wants to be in a room alone with you for too long. That is the loneliest part of this rank, and nobody warned you about it. Rank 4. The Caporegime, Level 4. The Caporegime, the captain, the capo. You run a crew. Now not 5 men, not 10 men. A crew of soldiers and dozens of associates spread across a territory that could be an entire neighborhood, an entire port, an entire industry. Construction, garbage. Garments, gambling. Whatever the family gave you, you own it. You are a mid-level executive of the most successful criminal enterprise in American history. And I mean executive in the most literal sense of the word. Your primary job is no longer violence. Your primary job is management. You meet your soldiers in public places, parks, shopping malls, restaurants, because meeting in private creates patterns, and patterns get you arrested. You walk and talk. You never write anything down, ever. You keep the operation running, the money flowing upward, and the problems contained within your crew before they become problems for the family. When 2 of your soldiers have a dispute over money or territory, they come to you. You are the judge. Your word ends the argument. But you have a quota. Every single week, regardless of the economy, regardless of police pressure, regardless of what is happening in your personal life, a package has to go up to the boss. Omits that package and you receive a warning. Omits it twice and you receive a visit from someone like the man we just discussed in the rank above you. The capo who stops earning is not replaced. He is removed. And in this organization, removed is never just a word. Now here is the question I promised you earlier. Which rank do you think carries the most actual power in the entire mafia structure? Think carefully. Most people get this wrong. The answer is coming. And it is not the rank you think. Rank 5, the Consigliere Level 5. The Consigliere, the counselor. This is the rank that almost nobody talks about. And that is precisely what makes it the most interesting position in the entire organization. You have no crew, you control no territory. You run no rackets directly. On paper, you are almost invisible. In reality, you are the 3rd most powerful man in the entire family. You have the boss's ear. Not occasionally, constantly. You are the only person in the entire hierarchy with the explicit authority and the explicit responsibility to tell the boss that he is wrong. When the boss wants to go to war with a rival family over a perceived insult, you are the one who sits across from him and says, "Wait, think about the cost. Think about the federal attention. Think about the business." You are part lawyer, part strategist, part psychologist. You understand the legal system well enough to structure the family's operations so they are as protected as possible. From RICO charges, the racketeer-influenced and corrupt organizations. Act, the federal weapon that has put more mafia bosses in prison than any other law in American history. When the captains are fighting each other and the Underboss cannot resolve it, they bring it to you. You are the neutral ground, the trusted voice. The answer to the question I asked you at the end of the last rank, the Consigliere holds more real influence than almost anyone else in this structure, because influence without visibility is the safest kind of power that exists. Rank 6, the Underboss Level 6. The Underboss, second in command, the operational backbone of the entire family. The boss sets the vision. You make it happen. Every captain in the organization reports to you. You collect the master packages from every crew and deliver the consolidated amount to the boss. You settle the disputes that are too large for the captains, but too small to require the boss's direct attention. You are the buffer, the layer of insulation between the throne and everything beneath it. If the federal government builds a case, they build it against you first. You absorb the legal pressure so the boss stays clean. And here is the brutal truth about being number 2 in La Cosa Nostra. Everyone knows you are next in line. The entire organization can see the crown waiting for you. And that makes you the single most dangerous person to be in the family. Because every ambitious captain beneath you is calculating whether today is the day. Every rival family is watching to see if you are strong enough to hold the position. And the boss himself, the man who put you here, the man you have served loyally for decades, is watching you more carefully than anyone. Because in this world, the heir apparent has always been the most likely candidate for betrayal. You have to be strong enough to run the family. And smart enough to never let the boss think you want to. Rank 7, the boss level 7. The boss, Capo D, 2D, Capi, boss of all bosses. You made it. Through the street corners, and the cold nights, and the prison sentences, and the FBI surveillance, and the funerals of men who are closer to you than brothers. You made it to the final rank. And now let me tell you what the top of the Italian Mafia actually looks like. Because it is nothing like what you imagined when you were standing at the bottom looking up. You never touch a weapon? It has been so long since your hands were directly connected to anything criminal that the federal prosecutors assigned to destroy. You cannot build a case that will stick. Every financial transaction runs through layers of legitimate businesses, restaurants, construction companies, waste management firms, real estate holdings, labor unions. You communicate through messengers only. Your conversations are short, vague, and conducted while walking in locations where surveillance equipment cannot reach you. You sit at the commission, the governing board of organized crime in America, with the bosses of the other families, and you divide the country. You decide who can be made. You decide which disputes get resolved and which ones get escalated. You decide who lives. You are a ghost who controls everything. And every single person in your world, from the newest associate running errands on a street corner somewhere, to the underboss sitting across the table from you, would accept a life sentence in federal prison before they spoke your name to anyone wearing a badge. That is your real power. Not the money, not the fear, the silence. A silence so complete and so absolute that it has protected men at your level for over a century. You sit at the top of the oldest, most resilient criminal organization in Western history. You whisper a word to your Underboss on a Tuesday morning. And by Thursday, a problem that has existed for 3 years no longer exists. No paperwork, no evidence, no trace. Just silence. The same silence that brought you here. The same silence that will define every day you spend on this throne. And the same silence that will follow you whether you leave this world in a hospital bed, a prison cell, or face down on the pavement outside a restaurant you have eaten at every Friday night for 30 years. This is the life you chose. Every rank, every price, every silence. 7 ranks, 1 code, a century of survival. The Italian Mafia did not build its empire through chaos. It built it through silence, discipline, loyalty, and a patience so extraordinary that it has outlasted every single government effort to destroy it. From an associate worth less than nothing to a boss whose whisper moves entire cities. This was your life inside La Cosa Nostra. Every rank, every cost, every silence. Now I want to know, which rank would you have chosen to stop at? And which rank do you think carries the highest price? Tell me in the comments right now, because next time we go inside an organization where the entry requirement is not an oath, it is a bullet. Subscribe to Dark Ranks. You do not want to miss what comes next.